Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is a T92 HMC. It's the Tier 10 American SPG and it's located on the south spawn of Malinovka and is under the command of twistedtrax. Now alongside her is an FV, I think it's an FV40, no it's an FV3805 with 2 marks on the barrel. And Firefly is the name on the side of twistedtrax machine. Based on the T26 E3, the Eagle chassis. It's a 24cm gun. In fact, it's the biggest gun in the game. 24cm howitzer. It can lob a shell onto the other side of the map and do immense damage to the enemy. And twistedtrax is taking her machine into the trees to get some cover, moving a little further up the hill, and she's loaded. She's got a long reload time, I'm afraid, very long. I think it's about 30 seconds or so, but we'll have to see her exact reload time after she's fired. Okay, she's lining up on a no-ho. Round out. Yep, it's 38 seconds reload. Ouch. That is a long time, and it means that she can move between shots, but at this moment she's staying where she is and having a good look around. 38.48 seconds actually, to be precise, on the reload. Now, they were actually called King Kong by most of the press. They only made 5 of these monsters. They were built for the invasion of Japan, Operation Downfall, but they were never used in anger, simply because Japan surrendered after the nuclear weapons were dropped on them. But she's aiming at the rock, where you normally expect to see somebody taking sniping shots from there. She's indicating to her team where she's aiming. Now she's got 16 rounds of ammo, but oh, another target's turned up on top of the hill. It's an Object 263 tank destroyer, tier 9. She's dialing in her aim to try and make it as accurate as possible to avoid any damage to the Chrysler. Round out. Oh, good shot, but it was a near miss. 286 hit points. It did miss the windmill and didn't damage the Chrysler at all. But it was only a splash against the 263. Now we've got an IS-7 up there, tier 10 Soviet heavy. And we're still reloading. Okay, if she can put a shell in there right now, and she's only a few seconds away from shooting, and I think that IS-7's been tracked. I'm pretty certain he has. Round out straight away, and oh, destroys the building. Unfortunately, doesn't do any damage. The building being destroyed shielded both of the vehicles from edge or damage. They just got stunned instead. That IS-7 has taken a huge amount of damage from the tanks. It's just a pity that it wasn't stunned, because if it had been stunned, she would have picked up all of that as damage assistance. And there is a Malshan at the foot of the hill coming up, still very slow to move about the Malshan. And the enemy IS-7's been wiped out. And there's a T10 retreating as fast as he can, and we got a direct hit on the Malshan. Direct hit. The shell disappeared without an explosion, so we know we hit him. And we're dialing in on a T110E4, the tier 10 tank destroyer, the one with the turret that can turn at least 90 degrees. And there's also an OHO up there, tier 8. Well, we'll do a huge amount of damage to the OHO if we can hit him. Side on to us. Almost ready to shoot, and we're ready to go. Round out. Oh, it fell short. Now she aimed just at the base of the OHO and the shell fell short, so she missed out on any opportunity to get damage. Normally I aim slightly over the tank so the fall point is actually on the middle of the tank, and that way the shell would have to travel through the tank, and if it falls short it will splash one side. If it goes long it'll still hit the tank but hit the turret, or maybe just hit the other side of the vehicle. There's the Malshan. We're almost ready to shoot again, and she's doing it. This is what I do now. Fires around in, and that time she hit the turret. So it was going long, but it definitely still hit the target and got the turret instead. So she collected a nice hit there of 593 hit points, and she's got some stun assist of 546 as well. Now they keep disappearing because the IS-7 is spotting for us. Oh my gum! The Malshan's been killed, and he was, whilst unspotted, the FV3805 got a kill shot in, and we're going to go for that Tiger 2 who's trying to shoot at the IS-7. He's coming up behind him. Oh, and he's been wiped out. We're loaded. We're going to go for the OHO. Working out where he's going to go. Oh, I think he stopped. Before we shot, he stopped, and so we missed out on any damage, I think, but we certainly stunned him. So we're picking up some stun assist. And yet more damage going in on that OHO. He's not going to last long now. He's a one shot. And the T110E4, well, he's still 100% health. But it looks like he's getting very defensive as well. Now that OHO is a one shot for sure. We're almost loaded, ready to go again. We'll splash him if we hit him this time. Round out. Yep. And it's a kill shot. It was a direct hit on him for 124. He's out the game. There's still that T110E4 up there though. And apparently there's a Panther 2 nearby as well. And the IS-7 just got hit by the enemy Arty. They've got a Batchat 155, 55 and a Conqueror gun carriage. And the E4 is making his way down the hill as fast as he can. Now, the scores are fairly even, so it's surprising that the enemy are retreating from the hill. You'd think that they had the numbers in their favour, so that they would actually try to take it back from the IS-7.
That was close.
Well, that was a near miss on the T10. There's a couple of trees down there, and that would tend to indicate that somebody's set up home behind those trees and is using them for cover. Obviously, yep, and we've marked the target because twistedtrax thinks there's something there. And that's usually a trick that Arty players look for. They look for any indication that the enemy has set up residence at a particular spot and is knocking down the scenery to try and provide a little bit of cover for them. Okay, we've got a Canonian Jagdpanzer at the foot of the hill coming around the edge. Meanwhile, at the other side of the map, at the other end of the map, we've got a T10 making a run towards our cap. And we fire a round in there, and yes, we get some splash. 112 on the T10, but we lose our T44. He was killed by the enemy Arty, the 155-55. And there's an Object 416 making its way down there as well. He's just been tracked, but we're still too long away from reload. 15 seconds odd from reload, so we're not going to be able to get a shot in before he's untracked himself or re-established his tracks. There's a Scorpion G behind that rock. Best to fire just to one side of the rock, because if you fire directly at the rock, the shell will hit the rock and that will shield the enemy tank from the vehicle. And that shell landed perfectly right at the side of the rock, so that probably splashed the Scorpion G. Looking for tracer from enemy Arty. It can sometimes help to go to overhead view if you go to overhead view, then it's a good chance that you might actually see the tracer and where the actual enemy Arty was, the precise location. It can be difficult to see it when you're in battle assistant mode. A lot of trees been knocked down, so it is difficult to tell precisely where the enemy Arty might be. Normally an enemy Arty might knock a tree down just as either a diversion, or they might knock it down just to provide a bit of extra cover. It's not normally a good idea to knock a tree down and sit behind it, because obviously that does attract attention. Now there's two scorpions behind that rock, and one of them appears to be badly damaged, so it may be that if this shot is accurate, she'll take out one of them. Oh, she got one, yep, 156 hit points. I thought she might. So she's got a second kill. Yeah, he just had 2 low hit points. A splash was bound to take him out. You've got to remember the alpha damage from these shells is pretty horrendous. In fact, with the premium rounds she's firing at the moment, she can do damage of 1300 hit points. And she's also got a very big burst radius of 14.5 meters. So even if the shell lands to one side of the rock, it's still going to do a phenomenal amount of damage. She's loaded, round out. And that's a splash kill as well. 60 hit points. She takes out the scorpion. She's got 3 kills now. Unfortunately, the enemy have put in a lot of fire and taken out our Kanonen. And there's the Panther 2. Previously was up the hill, but we've lost sight of him. And they've spotted the T110E4. Now that's a higher priority target because he's still got a lot of health. Now we're only 1 up on the score. But there's still a lot of enemy tanks out there, and there's a T10 in the south and a Panther 2 fairly near him. Waiting until that T110E4 comes into view again. We've only got 3 rounds of ammo left. There's the E4. Round out. Oh, well, it was a good shot. 446 hit points. The E4 is taken out. The Object 416 is still alive though, and he's going after the Kanonen. And looks like, yeah, the Kanonen's gone. 416 got him, but the 416 goes down to the other Kanonen. I don't think he anticipated being able to get both. And now we're focusing on the south because there's only 4 enemy left. 2 Arty. Oh, and the T10's killed. So it's only 1 medium tank, the Panther 2, and 2 Arty to kill. And the Kanonen Jagdpanzer is moving to find and kill the Arty. Yes, he's found one of them, the Batchat 155-55, and he's just been wiped out by the IS-7. So we're now, there's the Panther 2. twistedtrax is going to try and take him. And there's the Conqueror gun carriage. Oh, the shell goes long. But we do pick up some stun assist. These are the last 2 enemy alive, the Conqueror gun carriage and the Panther 2. It's not going to last very much longer. There's only 2 minutes left on the clock, but I don't think either of these 2 tanks are going to survive. They are in a rather unfortunate position to be in, totally defensive. And with both of our Arty still in play, it won't be long. And that was a round from the FV3805, and the Panther 2's killed by our Striv 1030, which means that we're going after the Conqueror gun carriage and we're aiming for that ridgeline. The FV3805's aiming for the water at the moment. There he is. He's actually in the water. Round out. Oh, kill shot. 530 hit points. Hit some weak armor, and he went out the game just like that. That's the winning shot. 4 kills. Let's have a look at the end of battle stats. It's an ace tanker for twistedtrax with the T92 HMC. She also got a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. She got 19. A fighter badge for getting at least 4 kills. She got 4 exactly. A Gore's medal for doing more damage than 10 times the hit points of her own vehicle. And here's the beautiful one. With that last round, she took out the Conqueror gun carriage. And with the last round of in the magazine, that means it's a Fadin's medal for killing the last enemy with the last round of your magazine. So fantastic round there. I don't think she expected that to actually happen. You never knew actually expected to happen. You might be checking your ammo count during the game, but I did notice when she got down to 3 rounds, and so when she got down to her last round, takes out the Conqueror gun carriage. It's very nice to pick up a Fadin's medal. They are special, and so congratulations for getting one. Let's have a look at the team scores. Well, look at that. 4,091 hit points of damage. twistedtrax scored the highest amount. For some reason, she didn't pick up the high caliber. Maybe it wasn't 20% of the enemy hit points in total, but she did get the Fadins, the Gores, the Bruiser, and the Fighter. When it came to the next highest score, it was the Conqueror gun carriage on the enemy team, 3,374, and then the IS-7 with 3,268. When it comes to kills, it was still twistedtrax who got the highest amount, 4 kills. The IS-7 got 3, and there's a whole bunch of tanks with 2 kills apiece. And when it came to base XP, again, twistedtrax got the highest amount, 1,071, just ahead of the FB3805 with 1,054, and then the Canonian Jagdpanzer with 1,015 in total. So let's have a look at detail report. Well, she fired all 16 rounds in her magazine. She didn't have anything left to fire. 4 direct hits, 4 penetrations, 15 splash, damage of 4,091 hit points, all at more than 300 meters. She hit 9 of the enemy, that's 3/5 of the enemy team, and killed 4 of the enemy. She also did damage assistance of 337 hit points and stun assistance of 2,612 of 15 stuns. On a premium account, she earned 78,060 credits. She got 3,903 credits from a personal missions payout. But, and here's the kicker, she used up a lot of premium ammo, 62,000 credits worth, and she had premium consumables on board. So she actually ended up with a deficit of only 37 credits. But it was well worth it to pick up those medals. She also received 1,607 XP times 2 for the first victory, got an 80 XP for personal missions payout, meaning she took away 3,294 XP for that battle alone. And she thought she was having a bad game. Well, no, it wasn't a bad game. You were playing it really well, actually, and you were holding fire until you had a certain target to fire at. You knew that somebody was behind that rock, and you were absolutely right to fire a round in there. And when you identified that there were 2 Scorpions with low hit points behind it, you played those shots perfectly to pick up 2 extra kills. So well played, twistedtrax. Nice battle. If you enjoyed this replay, please give it a like and do subscribe to our channel, and hopefully it'll be your replay that I'll be featuring in the next video.